What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. Listen, y'all, we had some wrestling deaths. And I mean, we have been recording this in a while. It's been a while since we recorded. It's been about 3 weeks since we recorded a No Gimmicks podcast. Hell, our fantasy draft is over, and I know everybody don't even know what their points are. And that's how long it's been. Hell, Q-Flow fucked all the way up because he was counting Rampage. I said, why are you counting Rampage? We said we wasn't doing Rampage. I said we doing the Wednesday. Show, and he thought Rampage was on Wednesday and Dynamite was on Friday. How? But
I mean,
no.
I thought he would have counted more Collision than he did Rampage, but they care more about Collision than they do Rampage.
Yeah, so I was just like, no. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done, right? So here's the deal. But we lost 3 people. That was Kevin Sullivan and both Wild Samoans. Now here's the deal. This is what Prime was talking about, because 7 weeks, or I mean, by the time you listen to this, it probably was like more than that. But Roman Reigns' dad, Sika, passed away, and I know that because as Roman Reigns' dad, and then there was stuff online for the talking about him, and he was old the last time we seen Alpha and Sika. I think that was at WrestleMania 38 that we seen them the last time when they gave that follow to Roman Reigns, and he was older, so he passed away. And just as we were coming off of that and celebrating the Wild Samoans, literally 7 weeks later, his brother Alpha dies.
They had their hand out for a minute.
Please.
That's a real tag team right there.
Yeah. And his brother, now once again, like Prime was saying about his grandparents, I hear this happening with older people that have been married for so many years, like with grandparents, stuff like that. Now, come to find out, that didn't happen with my grandparents. I was fortunate enough because when, on my dad's side, my grandparents didn't get along. So once he died in the ground, that was the last time she saw him, and she kept it moving. And my grandfather on my dad's side died in 1982, and my grandmother died in 2019. Then on my mother's side, where they were close knit, my grandfather died in 1997, and my grandmother died in 2015. So, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah. So, when it comes to my family, they have they have lived a good apart from each other, but there are a lot of older people or grandparents that when one of them dies, it ain't take that much longer for the other one to pass away, because they're either heartbroken because they don't have anybody left because they're older, and they just kind of like life just takes them, and it don't even be that long, and they just go. But hearing it between 2 brothers, I never thought. Now I'm guessing that happened with your grandparents too, right, Prime?
See, okay, I was gonna say something, but it's funny because I can say it.
Yeah.
So, like, if I say it out loud, y'all might think I'm a jerk.
Well, if it's about your grandparents, it's all you.
Yeah. So like, when they said, "Oh, one of them died," I would have thought it would be my grandma because she was doing bad. So then when I heard it was him, he died out of nowhere. Like, he just fell and then just died. So it was like, oh, dang. And then about to die soon. 65 years.
Yeah.
Married to one person is a long time. So they was like, oh, well, it's going to be soon. And then, sure enough, she called everybody and was like, yeah, I'm going to die. So then that's what happened. She wasn't doing that hot. That hand was getting hot. You had to make that hot tag.
Not that she called everybody and said, hey, y'all, I'm about to die.
She did.
Because on this side, it'd be like, they be saying, you know, the soil getting a little soft.
She definitely called and said, yeah, I'm about to die. It's gonna be the last time you see me if it ain't in the hole. She called it the hole. So yeah, I ain't coming back. And I was like, oh, dang, all right. I ain't wanna have this combo, but okay.
Yeah.
And then it's like they called everybody to watch her. I just can't do one of those things where they call everybody.
Yeah.
Like they die peacefully around their family. I'm not gonna sit there and watch you die.
I understand that because we had to do that with Nina's grandmother, and I'm just like, this is kind of intense. You know what I'm saying? Like you wait for that, like and the doctor comes, we move all the stuff. That's kind of hard to do.
Cover them up with the cheap.
Yeah, I said, yeah, I said, yeah. You know, I'm here because that's my wife. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'll be out of the waiting room for this. But yeah, neither here nor there. So both the Wild Samoans passed away, and that was, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. And let me tell you something, the Wild Samoans were obviously a very popular tag team back in the 80s. They were the tag team that the Soul Patrol, Rocky Johnson, and Tony Atlas beat to become the first African American tag team champions, and I believe the Wild Samoans were one of the first Samoan tag team champions. And they were, you know, they unfortunately had to perpetuate that stereotype of what, you know, Samoans were back then. But like, if you listen to the Rikishi podcast, he was like, that's the role they had to play. But you know, if you knew them outside of wrestling, they was cocoa butter fresh, he would say. And it is like I said, they weren't my era. I mean, I knew about the Wild Samoans, especially going back and researching Wild Samoans, and then we got the Soul Samoan Dynasty, and I got to see some of their matches, yes. But you know, I wasn't an 80s wrestling kid. I started watching wrestling in '93, so that's when, you know, I really became accustomed. But still, they were still a prominent piece in that whole Samoan dynasty that we have now, especially when they were trained by Pia Maivia, who is The Rock's grandfather. So there's a lot of lineage in that, and I feel bad for Roman because Roman has taken a lot of blows since, you know, of us being privy to knowing him in his wrestling career. He has fighting cancer. He lost his brother. He lost his dad and his uncle. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of loss.
You hear me?
No, what you say?
I said, and his belt and his mantra. Just lost it all.
And his mantra.
Yeah, the little beads, whatever they call it.
Oh, you talk. Oh, the Alfala.
Yeah. Alfala.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. So, but he has lost. You know, it's been a lot for, you know, Roman Reigns. And oh shit, you know what, honestly I apologize because I'm just sitting here reading it here that the Raw Samoans after Hell in a Cell when he beat Jey Uso is when they came and gave him that follow.
Yeah, it was definitely them because they the ones that gave it to him, and it was like that's when the whole family was looking disappointed at Jey. It was like walked off. I do remember that.
Yeah. So they were just, you know, they had some time back in the World Wrestling Federation, and they left, went to Mid-South for a little bit, and they came back to the, what was you about to say?
No, I'm just saying, like, they should have tried to do something with them at WrestleMania this year because they were all Samoan. Like, you know, try to have, like, The Rock and Roman talking like, yeah, we gonna binge. I don't know, something so that more Samoans could be involved just to show the lineage of the family.
Yeah.
To show, like, how dangerous they got all types of people, but they could just do something like that in the bloodline, telling the cell that they do. I mean, not Hell in a Cell, but War Games if they decide to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, I would like to see them. Remember when they was having that whole Samoan council thing, and it kind of turned out to be nothing. And I was like, but we could have got them back with Kishi Bay. We could have got a lot of Samoans back, and we didn't do anything with that.
Yeah.
So I thought.
Could have been. Roman could have been the head of the table. We could have had. It could have been a segment. It didn't even have to be no live thing. It could have been take that they house if they wanted to. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I felt as though so I feel for Roman Reigns and the whole family, because that's a lot to deal with within that short span of time. Because even when he came to Alpha, they was saying it reminded me of Bernie Mac all over again. They would say that man was dead before he was dead, and then he finally died a couple of days after they put that tweet out.
I think what started is MLW.
Okay.
Because MLW put out a post and it said prayers for Alpha and the Anoa'i of the how do you say it?
Alpha and Seeker?
No, the last name. Anoa'i.
Anoa'i.
I know. Shit. Alright. They put prayers for Alpha and the Anoa'i family. People seen that, and they probably just assumed that he died, so they ran with it. They just sent out prayers. They didn't say he died. They was like, just send out your prayers for him. But I would assume that the MLW family knows, because they obviously know Jacob, because he was there for such a long time. To where I'm pretty sure they knew, like, yes, things are not going as well, but he didn't officially die. They just started all these rumors.
Yeah.
To the point even Dave Meltzer was like, oh wait, he didn't die yet.
Yeah. So, if Dave Meltzer got to stop you. So, you already know. See it. So.
This man still talking. Why do people still care about this man's opinion?
You know what? I don't even know how either. I really don't. But they do, and I mean they be salivating on that. Even though I know it's not a word. But anyway, Seeker passed away at 79, and Alpha passed away at 81. So, rest in peace to them. Then we also had another death. Kevin Sullivan. Now, I'm listening. Go ahead. No, man. Look, we here now, so we ride together, we die together.
I had a wife. Put my wife in the storyline. I ain't got no wife no more. That's like one of my favorite lines that he's ever said.
Kevin Sullivan. Okay, so I'm a little bit more familiar with Kevin Sullivan, because Kevin Sullivan was around at the time that I was actually watching wrestling, right?
Yeah, the Booker man.
Yeah, and of course Kevin Sullivan was really known for being a booker, especially at WCW. But he also had a wrestling career, a good wrestling career as well. He had a couple bad gimmicks, but he still had a pretty, a good like the whole Three Faces of Fear and the Dungeon of Doom thing that he did. He was a very dark character when he was doing his thing. But Kevin Sullivan was also known for just his booking and the things that he was doing, especially WCW at that time. And then also there was that whole rumor that was taken around about the Chris Benoit stuff. I know you know about that rumor.
Yeah, I know about the rumor. Also, he didn't want to speak on it when they did the Benoit thing. He didn't want to talk about it at all. So.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, there was a rumor going around that he felt everybody felt as though that he was the one who killed Chris Benoit because of their heated rivalry they had in WCW, and of course with Chris taking Nancy away from him, basically. And I was like, that's because people just could not wrap their head around the fact that Benoit did what the fuck he did. It was hard for him to swallow that. And I was just like, because I even had one of my best friends with someone saying like, yo, but Kevin Sullivan don't like him, and like, where was his whereabouts? I'm like, are you serious right now? Bro, are you? Stop. I understand you're in pain, but let me tell you something. Stop blaming Kevin Sullivan for this shit.
No, I'm gonna just be honest here. I I'm gonna just be honest.
Okay.
Since it just came to my head. Kevin Sullivan, we ain't have to worry about that. If he had a beef with like New Jack or somebody, alright.
Yeah, that is something different.
But Kevin Sullivan, he ain't gonna do nothing.
Not at all. New Jack's ass is crazy enough. New
Jack or Nick Gage or somebody, yeah, okay, maybe it's 50-50. Like me, looking at all investigation people. But,
yeah.
Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, New Jack is Jesus. Yeah, I would order back people like, yo, what the, bro? This is not off the realm of what New Jack would do. So, but he was, he had like I said, he wrestled in the early days, and in Memphis when it gets Jerry Lawler, he was in the Jim Crockett promotions in that early days of the World Championship Wrestling. He did the Prince of Darkness gimmick in the '80s. Which it looked more like a dominatrix type of outfit. He did Smoky Mountain Wrestling a little bit in the early '90s, and Eastern Championship Wrestling before it came ECW in the mid '90s. But when he came back to WCW, still in like the mid '90s as well, they had that whole Dungeon of Doom type stable that Kevin Sullivan was doing. And like the Three Faces of Fear, I think it had like, what was it, Kamala, and was it Vader? I don't think it was Vader. I gotta look it up to see.
Kamala and, you know what? I don't know that's all fast. Let me not say that. I was gonna say Kamala and what's the other dude? The other big white guy.
Oh, Earthquake. Yeah.
Earthquake.
Yeah, well, because he changed his name. That's right. That makes sense because they had Kamala, and then they had the Zodiac, which was Bruce the Barber Beefcake, which was stupid.
You mean to me, Booty Man?
Yeah. Yeah. All that shit was bad. Yeah. So they because Earthquake was was Avalanche. At the time, I believe it was. So yeah, it was just some big. It was nothing but gimmick shit for Hulk Hogan to beat up in WCW. That's all it was. That's really all it was. Then he started doing the the booking, and I remember the most known or famous thing that he did was the booking of the him and Chris Benoit storyline that they had. Where it was how did the story go? I can remember because this is back when Benoit was in the Four Horsemen, and this before Benoit really went crazy. This was actually a version of the Horsemen I like because it had Benoit, Malenko, Anderson, Flair, and Steve McMichael. That was that version of the Four Horsemen. But yeah, they had a feud, and Benoit took woman from Sullivan, which was what Prime was talking about, which was Nancy Benoit. That became his wife. And they had a retirement match at Bash at the Beach in '97. Him and Benoit did, and with all the animosity they had, they put him a decent match, and he retired then and just stuck to his booking role.
Which match was that they planned out? And it was like 2 minutes.
You talking about between Benoit and Sullivan?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah, I'm about to say I off top I don't know. To be honest with you, off top I don't know. But he died on August 9th at the age of 75. He died from complications of blood clots, which blood clots are just deadly. And when I don't know any, like I said, personal stories about Kevin Sullivan, but I'm very familiar with the name, and like I said, I was around at the time when he was active in those dumb gimmicks and things like that. But it's just another wrestling death, and they come in threes, but it's been like a stretched out 3 that we lost here. And I'm just like, man, it was like it felt like back to back to back. Especially by the time we're recording this, I think we're at the anniversary of Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk's death.
Bray's anniversary is Saturday,
which is today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Terry Funk's tomorrow because they died a day apart, correct? Yeah.
That was a day or two.
Yeah, so it's been a year, and I'm just like, man, time fly. Because honestly, I thought Bray died in October, and I was like, wait a minute, oh no, August? I was like, what? It's amazing how the time be flying, bro. It's amazing how the time be flying. So, rest in peace to all three of these wrestlers. And it's just and condolences to the family because these are all hard things to hit, man. It's something.